COVID-19 is spread. Through air currents potentially carrying microscopic droplets full of coronavirus. When we talk, breathe, or cough. We can see this thanks to an imaging technique that lets us peer into the invisible world of airflow. And using this same technique, we can see if masks really do help to stop the spread of coronavirus.
Wow, right? Joe Hansen from It's Okay to Be Smart is here with us to tell us what he found out from this really cool slow-mo imaging. Joe, good morning to you and welcome to Good Day LA. Before you get into what you found out, tell me why you decided to make this video.
Well, Arancia, thank you so much for having me. Like everyone else, I want to get life back to normal. We all do. We've got a toddler here at home. But there's just too much virus out there in our communities right now, and we have to lower that. But you and I, we can't make a vaccine happen any faster. I'm not in the lab, but there is something that we can do for each other, and it's simple, and it's to wear a mask every time we leave home. But this is an invisible threat. It's really hard to get our head around sometimes. So I teamed up with a researcher here that you see in this video from the National Institute of Standards and Technology. They're like the measuring people. So that we could show people really why masks work and make this invisible threat, very, very visible for people.
Are you surprised to find a lot of the pushback, a lot of people just not wanting to wear one, saying that it doesn't work, saying it's fraud, that don't buy into this? Are you surprised by the response?
I am a little. This is an issue about science and health, and the more that we can avoid that becoming a political question, and remember that this is a question about trying to help each other, I think that's a step in the right direction. There are thousands and thousands of people around the world, around the country, that are trying to get good information out to their patients and the people that are doing this research. And those people really are trying to help stop this. And wearing a mask is just one of many, many recommendations from those people that I think that if we remember about empathy and trying to help each other, that we can move this in the right direction.
And something you've talked about and you point out is the fact that, yes, in the beginning we were told you don't really need one, and then you're told, okay, certain people need one. But as you say, this is something we've never dealt with. So as science changes, as we get more information, the rules are changing. There's no conspiracy here, really. And you're saying focus on what you can do, don't focus on what you can't do, like speeding up a vaccine. You've done some other tests that you want to talk about. Let's talk about that.
One thing that the Schlieren imaging, this amazing sort of breath imaging, doesn't show us is the actual droplets that this virus is carried out from an infected person's breath. But we did use this sheet of laser light. Under just normal speech, you can actually see these kind of gross droplets of moisture that are leaving people's mouths, potentially carrying virus, and how a mask blocks that. We also worked with another researcher who laid out petri dishes and just talked and sang normally, to show just how far away from us when we're unmasked that these little droplets, potentially infective droplets, can be carried. And again, masks, just even a simple mask that you can make at home yourself, are really, really effective at blocking those from getting out into the 6 feet or so into the community around you.
Okay, a couple things I want you to address is you talk about, yes, when you're wearing a mask, it's hot, it might get, moist, the cloth covering, but that is a sign, you say, that it's actually working. Also, I would like for you to address people saying that this isn't good for your health when you wear a mask. It lowers your oxygen intake. Is that true?
That's right. This virus is traveling inside of little moisture droplets. So if you got humidity in there and it's kind of fogging up your glasses like it does to me every day, that means it's working. And this concern about oxygen, we're not used to having something in front of our face, but neurosurgeons are, and nurses are, and even carpenters. They wear these masks for hours a day, and we don't see adverse health effects in those people. So it's something that we can really trust is okay to do when we leave home, when we leave the house. And we don't have to be afraid of this. And it's certainly, I think, for many of the potential negative impacts of getting COVID-19, certainly something that we should consider. We don't want the alternative.
Joe, thanks so much for being with us and sharing your knowledge and this experiment with us. I encourage people out there, if they've got about 8 minutes to watch the full video, appreciate it. It's okay to be smart. Check it out on pbs.org, YouTube, and Patreon.